Hey, Ben. Obviously, looking at LSU, huge trio there with Watford, Thomas, and Smart. What kind of challenges do those guys present trying to defend those three?
Yeah, they're really good players. I mean, starting with Thomas, he's the leading freshman scorer in the country this year, and it really is able to get his own shot because his incredible elevation on his shot. He gets 2.5, 3 feet in the air every time he seems like he shoots a jump shot, and it's just very hard to defend him. When he gets hot, he can really get on a roll, and we've seen it. I remember the first couple of league games I watched him play. Somehow I was watching them. I don't know who they were playing, but someone we were getting ready to play, and he was just killing it. I mean, it was just amazing. So he's very talented. I've always loved Smart. Smart's a junior now, very intelligent point guard. He's played on really good teams for LSU. I watched their Texas Tech game last night, and he was so good in that game. They should have won that game for sure. He had 29 points and was just orchestrating everything offensively. They're top 10 in the country in offensive efficiency because of these three players, along with Darius Days, who, according to what I'm reading into from Will Wade's, tweets this morning, he's going to play against us tomorrow. He had sprained his ankle in that Tech game and missed their last SEC game at Alabama, and then they were canceled this weekend. They didn't play Saturday because of Florida with the COVID protocol. But he's a very, very good player as well, and has had a lot of experience because he's been a couple of years starter and has played a lot all 3 years he's been there. And then Watford's really talented. I mean, Watford, waffled whether he was even coming back this year. He put his name in last year, went through the whole process, and then at the last minute elected to stay. And a year ago he was a starting three-man and never played the four. Now he's playing the four exclusively almost, and really a hard matchup for your fours because you got a three-man who has great size, who's really skilled, hard to match up with. He shoots it. He's a great passer. He's very good around the basket. He's an excellent offensive rebounder. So they are very talented.
We'll go ahead and go to Paul. Paul, go ahead.
Coach, you've had Davion in the starting lineup now for the last 2 or 3 games. Just your thoughts on how he's handled that and what you would like to see him do better.
I think what he does for us is he does a great job pushing the ball in transition. That's number one. And we had a lot of good defensive possessions in our last game at South Carolina and scored a lot in transition out of those stops. And he's a big part of the reason why, because he does a good job advancing the ball with the pass and also pushing the ball with the dribble. Just a nice job on a number of decisions there, doing that for us. And, the biggest thing for him is just to keep getting better in the half-court offense, penetrating and making good decisions at the end of his drives, and then also being a better defender, just being able to stay in front of the ball. But I think he's really grown in that area. He's doing a better job jumping to his passes, stunning and getting into gaps, and then getting back to his own. But it's just a continued growth thing, especially staying in front of the ball and not getting penetrated on when he's on the ball.
We'll swing it over to Joel Coleman. Joel, go ahead.
Hey, Ben, I was looking at the SEC standings this morning, and I think from like 2nd or 3rd place down to about 10th place is only separated by a couple of games there. Just kind of curious, despite all the ups and downs of this season, you guys are still kind of right there competing for that double bye in the SEC tournament kind of thing. Just curious what your message has been in the big picture to your team, or do you guys even talk about the big picture all that much?
I mean, we talk about the fact that if we can win tomorrow, it would put us at even in the SEC at 6-6, and that's what our goal is to get back even again. And so, we try to keep, focused on, the now.
We'll swing it over to John Sokoloff. John, go ahead.
Hey, Ben, kind of based on, the last game and the last few, really, how would you kind of assess where your team is at right now from an offensive standpoint?
I think that we've talked about this a lot, John. The turnovers, when you look at, our last 5 games. That's been the biggest problem for us. Turnovers leading to easy baskets, and provided we can continue to and grow and improve in that area, we're going to be fine. I thought this last game we shot a high percentage, both from 3. I think we were 10 for 19, and from the field we were about 48% from the field. So both those numbers were really good and positive developments. And like I said, a lot of our offense came from our defense. And I think the last 5 games in a row now, we played really good man-to-man defense. Like, we've really increased our defensive efficiency rankings over the last 3 weeks considerably. And that's something that really excites me because when you're able to get stops and get the ball off the glass and get out and push it quick, I think it's really positive for us. In our half-court offense, we got to keep getting better. I thought we did some good things in our last game, attacking. They went zone. It was a 5-point game, and they attacked zone, and we had worked on that. And Davon hit Derek Fountain for a really big 3 in the left wing to put it to an 8-point game, which was a huge shot for us. We attacked their press, a couple different presses, and did a good job of it. One time we were down 2, and Derek got trapped. Iverson back cut. He hit Iverson in the middle of the floor, who found DJ wide open in the right corner to hit a 3, which was actually the last time we were behind was at that point. We went ahead 48-47 and never looked back. We had another time late in the game where Derek got the ball at the high post area, turned and made a nice bounce pass to Abdul for a dunk when it was about a 10-point game, and they were trying to trap to get back in it. So those things were real positive. I think Derek Fountain has really helped us, especially when we're seeing traps and seeing presses.
We'll swing it over to Robbie Falk in the Starkville Daily News. Robbie, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I know you mentioned the turnovers and wanting to get better at those. And I know you had a rough game against Arkansas, but you go to Alabama and Tennessee and put up a fight there. You get a big road win at South Carolina. And obviously the emergence of Derek Fountain's been noticeable. How much of a step forward, if any, did you see from this team after that road trip? Did you feel like your guys improved when you take into the whole picture, playing at Bama and Tennessee and then getting that win at South Carolina?
Yeah, it was a huge step for us, and our guys were really excited about the win, as you could imagine. We had beat Iowa State the previous Saturday, but that wasn't a conference game. And, to win on the road is always special and always difficult. So, all the games are difficult. But that being said, winning on the road, it was special. And, South Carolina was coming off a great win where they just won at Florida and played a very good Florida team tough and ended up winning down there. So this was a positive step for our team, and now we need to build on it. And we're going to be really tested because LSU's been off. I mean, they haven't played in a week, and so they've just been sitting there waiting on us now. And that's kind of the process with this COVID. You never know how it's going to work out. And so this is going to be a tough game, and it's Days is supposed to be back, and that's a big step in the right direction for them because he's a very good player.
We'll go back to John Sokoloff. Got time for a couple more. John, go ahead.
And you mentioned, the turnovers, and you mentioned what you guys kind of not fixed, but addressed kind of in practice. But the last thing I really had on offensively, do you kind of want to see more balanced scoring from your guys? Do you want to see some other guys kind of get involved more in terms of scoring?
We have what we have, John, so I would love to see more balance. I would love to have 5 guys averaging double figures. That's the ideal way to play, is to have it spread out amongst a lot of players. There's no question I would love to have that, yes.